going on, VFX Master Tristan 2 Boss. Welcome back to another video. Today we're about to react to We Quit Spider-Man Loutus. So this is the VFX team talking about how they quit Spider-Man Loutus. So I'm not sure. So y'all remember like my reaction to the yeah, you guys remember my reaction to Spider-Man Loutus trailer for the first time. Everything about it looked amazing. I was really hyped for the movie, but then some drama went down because unfortunately the actors for Spider-Man Loutus were racist because there were Instagram DMs that were leaked, and one of the I think that like one of the people that leaked it was like some 14-year-old who like used to be friends with Gavin, if I'm correct, and then I don't know, they talked about like making a Spider-Man project, but he didn't like mention, but Gavin didn't really like mention about him or anything. That's kind of, I'm just like trying to remember everything. So yeah, unfortunately, everyone's talking about how the film's getting canceled, and I was like really hyped for that fan-made film. Where I even like saw some clips of the film that were leaked after the drama was going on back then. But yeah, if you guys want to check this video, I'll leave it in the description. Also, if you guys in this channel and you're not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe, high-five the like button, leave a comment down below, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on a new video. And yeah, let's get right into this.
Hi, I'm Max Arnhammer. I was one of the VFX artists on the now.
I really wish the film continued if that drama didn't like.
You're watching this video.
Like, I don't understand why they were like on that race.
Even seen one of the countless video essays documenting the downfall of the film. But as
yeah,
a quick refresher, about 2 months ago, DMs were leaked on Twitter showing the director and star of the film saying some pretty terrible stuff.
Yeah.
While some of the DMs were fake, a lot of them were very real.
Oh yeah, I think if I remember that one where they talked about like how John Watts, who directs Tom Holland Spider-Man, or that version of Spider-Man, I think I remember he was like mentioned Gavin's film on Spider-Man Loutus, and then there was a fake DM talking trash about John Watts. I think they've been saying, if I remember, that one was a fake one, but there were some like actual real DM leaks.
They were super shocking and disappointing to see for all of us on the VFX team, as I'm sure it was for all of you guys. The film's reputation was ruined, and it no longer aligned with what Spider-Man represents as a character. This ultimately led to each
because it's kind of ruined Spider-Man's art.
To step away from the project, which was super sad because it also meant stepping away from
it kind of like throws away what Spider-Man stands for.
A part of it, work that I genuinely believe may be some of the best we've ever done. Work that now may have been for nothing. Because of this, I wanted to make this video and push aside the drama for just a bit and really shine a spotlight on all the incredibly hardworking and passionate and dedicated individuals on this VFX team who made some really amazing stuff happen. Stuff that now we want to share with all of you guys. So I hope you enjoy.
Okay, but the model. Well, okay, so they're about to show us.
I'm Nero. I worked on Spider-Man Loutus alongside Justice Sketches, which of course is his legal name.
I'm Justice Sketches. I was another modeler on the Loutus team, and today I'm talking about the Loutus model.
One of the first things I did when I came onto the project was retopologize Spider-Man. If you don't know what retopology is, basically it's taking a model and reducing the amount of data while still keeping its shape and form. For all you nerds out there, this process led to us going from 3 million.
No, low-key though, like, from back in like in my 8th grade and 7th grade years, like I remember like we had STEAM class, bro, stuff like this when it comes to modeling and all that, it was hard.
Well, 743.
I started by finishing,
but you actually like have real talent,
making it look a bit more presentable. After that, I added the seams. Seam lines are important because it gives the suit some definition, and obviously the real Loutus suit has seam lines because it's an actual like sewn together costume.
After retopologizing the model, I textured, adding all the
he just had a hat on him
and all other details onto the model in general.
And then from there, it was only a matter of finishing up the webs. Hugo 9P1 did the wrinkles of the costume, which also really adds to the realism.
Man, it looks so perfect.
Don't really utilize as wrinkles, but they are quite important.
After Justice Hugo and I had finished our work on the model, I rigged it, basically giving it a skeleton that we could use to start animating the model.
Animation. But yo, that's actually pretty dope.
We are the animators
hours on Spider-Man Loutus. So what we would do is when the director would give us a shot, one of us would call dibs, and then the person who was going to do the shot would do it, finish it, and then send it off to the other guy. The other guy would add his little additions in, and then it would keep going back and forth just depending on how much changes were made, and then we'd send it off to Max so he could do the rest.
This shot, you've probably seen it countless times.
Oh yeah, I seen that clip. Yeah, I saw the leaked clip of the.
And it took months.
Yeah,
and months.
I saw the leaked clip of the final swing of the ending of it. It looks pretty. It looks so dope.
Of work. So I did this whole shot. I animated the whole shot, but something was wrong with it. Not a big deal. I didn't get that far into it. I'll do it again. I reanimated it again. Something was still wrong with it. So I had to reanimate it a third time. And then the third time I reanimated, there was again something wrong with it. Not if you want to guess what I had to do after that.
Actually, I'm kind of lost on that one. You might have to tell me what you did.
I'll help you out. I had to do it for a fourth time. I was finally
A
happy with
fourth
the shot.
time.
Except that I wasn't, and I ended up doing it 3 more times after that. After so
Yeah,
much
you have to get
pain,
like the
so
perfect
much
like
hard work,
swinging.
blood, sweat, and tears, and
Like yeah, like a good pose for it. I also like that. I don't know how it really works, but yo.
Beautiful knight in shining armor, and he came in,
Yeah.
picked up the shot, he polished off the last little bit of it, and just made it. Mwah.
Yeah, I know that took like so many hours and a lot of hard work.
Shot on this, it is one of my proudest shots in the movie, the fire escape shot.
Oh yeah, I like that
I'll tell you
part.
Something about Blender, folks. If you're a beginner in Blender, the camera ain't your friend. The camera wants to kill you. It took me a week to fix this camera, and I do not think it's 100% even today. On a positive note though, this shot was very fun to work on. I had a lot of fun with the animation. It was purely concept.
Yeah, like I wonder how they even do the camera. Wait, cause like you have to like animate the camera. Like how? I don't even know.
Regardless of what's happened with the movie, there was a lot of hard work, a lot of time, a lot of effort that went into this film over the past year. There's a lot of shots that we finished, but there's also a lot of shots and ideas that we never got to finish or never even got to use.
I really hope you guys got a little bit of an understanding of what it is that we did. When the shot rolls around, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
On to you, Max, with this amazing high quality transition.
Wow, Hunter, that transition was fucking terrible.
Dang. Max's section.
It was my responsibility on the film to make those beautiful animations look even better. My plan of attack, attempting to faithfully recreate the greatest city in the world.
Wow,
Max.
Yeah, you have to make
how
like
you gonna
a
do that? I'm so
a
glad
3D.
you asked, 'cause the
That has to be like a
answer is
3D model.
incredibly simple, with this little thing called reference. I traveled all around the city gathering photos and videos that I could use to recreate real New York locations. And when my reference wasn't enough, I used Google Street View to virtually return to any location I needed. All of this data allowed me to get far more accurate and better results when creating my digital sets. For some shots, I was able to project this material onto simple geometry, and for others, I used it as a guide to create the sets almost entirely from scratch. After that, I did about 100,000 other things to make the shots actually look good. Here's the final product.
Oh yeah, this is the final. This is the shot. This is the one right here. Bro, this was dope. Look at this, bruh. So beautiful. Like, look at that, man. Oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Like, look at that, bro. That's so clean. And the guy's like, what the heck? Look at that. That's so beautiful, bruh. Oh my goodness. Low key, one of the best swinging scenes. But then here's this part. And then they play that theme song. Yeah. Giving out like the audio from the Yes Spider-Man sound from Homecoming. Yo, that was low-key beautiful.
You guys, we just wanted to clarify some of the misconceptions that have been going around regarding our treatment from the director during our involvement of the film.
We really do appreciate all the messages we've been getting. Really nice. However, there is a lot of information out there that is just simply untrue or it's been exaggerated. So that's why we want to just clear the air a little bit.
Prior to this team coming together, there was a former VFX team on the project. One of the members of this VFX team, who hadn't been working on the film for several months, made a Twitter thread talking about their experiences on the film. That Twitter thread is kind of unintentionally responsible for a lot of the misconceptions going on about the VFX work on this project.
Some of us who are on this new, more recent VFX team weren't on the old one, So we can't speak for everything that happened there, but what we can say is that a lot of the experiences that we shared on this team were not the same as the one on the old one.
On the other hand, Max and I were a part of that original team, and what I experienced was completely different from what was talked about in that thread. So something that was hammered home was the time crunch.
Some of this was due to Max Hammer's work. His animation for the trailer was unusable and caused a 40-hour crunch to get it finished, and despite being fired, he was brought back, and I was forced to hand my assist over to him. Gavin stood by him, so baffling. Wait, what?
I know he did clarify after he made that tweet. A lot of that was not Gavin's fault. Gavin gave ample time for them to complete their work, and even offered to push back the initial release date of the trailer so that they could finish what needed to be done. They kept reassuring him that it would be done and be done in time. On the day of the release, we still weren't done yet. Gavin had to go live and temper down fans because we were still rendering the video, and once we had the render finished, he just threw it into After Effects or Premiere and posted the trailer to everyone. So yes, there was a crunch, but was it really Gavin's fault entirely? No.
Oh,
As for my
okay,
involvement with
okay.
the previous VFX team, the only unprofessionalism I experienced the entire time was from that VFX team themselves.
Now to speak about the treatment for this current VFX team, I think I can speak for about everybody on this team where I think we were all very well treated from day one to the final day. I remember getting so many texts just with love and support and high praise all the time. And if we had ever seen anything even kind of reminiscent to the behavior that you see in those leaked DMs, we would have left the project immediately. It is as simple as that.
At no point on the project did I feel stressed out due to a lack of time, because you always reassured that at the end of the day, Spider-Man Loutus is a fan film and that we shouldn't stress out about it.
So on a final note, I just wanted to say that I think I speak for all of us. This is definitely one of like the best collaborations that we've all ever been a part of. I just wanted to thank you guys for sitting here and watching all the shots that we did. It really means a lot, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you guys all for sticking around and watching. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye. Now.
Bye.
But low key though, I do feel bad for like the like VFX team because of how hard they like worked on the film. But hey, they did up really amazing. Okay, so now Gavin, the director of this film, is just dropped a video addressing everything about the Spider-Man Loutus situation. Wait, 2 months ago, you were all shown a series of hurtful things that led to a downfall. What was supposed to be a celebration of Spider-Man. My intentional reaction to make this statement on Twitter fulfill my responsibility in releasing a film that I promised thousands of people to deplatform myself from the internet. However, in the midst of my fault, a series of misconceptions and rumors have harmed the lives of my crew members who have worked tirelessly to deliver a meaningful story about hope, growth, and redemption. In this video, I will be addressing that. From that month, I owe to my casting crew for the sake of their work shining through the muddled and uncertain meaning that the film has now developed for a reputation for. As always, thank you for supporting this film and the creators who pushed to bring this story to life. The film will release as soon as finished, and I will be providing updates on my channel throughout the year. Okay, so wait, so does this mean like the film's not getting canceled? Because a lot of people have been saying that this film is going to get canceled, but like, here's a question though: how are they going to continue it? Because like, we already know like 2 of the actors that played Spider-Man and Green Goblin were racist, and after seeing the leaked DMs, how are they going to continue it? Because I mean, either A, they're going to use the same actor. I mean, people are not really going to care for it because of what he did, what they both did, or they just have to like probably reboot it with a new cast member. I don't know, man. I'm not sure that's gonna work out, but he's gonna address everything. Matter of fact, before I even watch this, I wonder what the comments are saying. But I don't know. Let's just like watch the video and see what he's talking about.
Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I last addressed the internet. Obviously, I've deplatformed from Instagram and Twitter. I'm only here on YouTube for now. But as you might know, over the past couple months, there have been a lot of things going around about me, the movie, the cast and crew. And so before I go forward with releasing any more content, I felt like it was necessary to sit down and make this video and talk about all of it. I've divided the video up into a few different sections just to make sure, everything gets fully attended to and gets the full attention that it needs. But I won't be speaking on the behalf of anyone else. I don't feel like it's in my place to do that. I'm only going to be speaking on things that either I'm directly involved in or that I directly relate to. So I want to start by talking about what's, in my opinion, the most important thing to talk about, which is that in my first couple years of high school, I'm going to be honest, I was pretty much just a giant loser. I was online way too much. I was part of these group chats and communities where I very often said some of the most offensive things I could think of to get attention from people. I was really just a giant mess, and as a college sophomore looking back on how I was...
Now, low-key though, I can kind of relate because, when people get themselves into something and then they start to say, what other people say and they don't know, that type of stuff, alright, I'm gonna be honest too, because, I've been there, but, at the same time, I've, changed throughout the years. But I can definitely relate on that one, but...
As a high school sophomore, it's completely embarrassing. It took a lot of reality checks to kind of shift me off from the path I was heading down and take me in a different direction.
Same.
Regardless of the fact that
I'm being completely honest. I've been there.
It doesn't negate the fact that I said any of it in the first place, right? So, all those things are still part of my past, and I'm going to have to live with that, and I take full responsibility for it. I may have been 14, 15, but I definitely knew the difference between right and wrong at that age.
I was 13, 14?
I think the excuse that I was too young to know any better or too naive to know any better, I really don't agree with that. I may not have understood the weight of what I was saying and the severity of what I was saying, but I did know it was wrong. I was raised knowing that these things were not okay to say, but I was at this point in my life where I was rebelling and doing the opposite of the right thing just because I could. And I hate that that's the type of kid that I was, and I hate that I contributed to it. But, it's always going to be part of my past, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I've made a lot of personal apologies over the years, especially the past couple months, but the fact of the matter is this has reached hundreds of thousands of people now. It's become really far beyond personal apologies, and so that's why I'm here now, apologizing to not only the people who have kind of been supporting over the years and have looked up to me and maybe disappointed, but especially to the people who the messages, directly affect and target. And so to you all, I'm sorry. The only thing I can really do is move forward better.
Low-key though, what you get yourself involved to, you gotta, remember and learn, not to say, stuff that's gonna be offensive to people, that's gonna target people. You gotta keep that in mind. Plus, to be honest, because, probably a lot of younger kids, probably even my age or younger, probably have done or said some type of shit, but, at the same time, we're just kids and we don't know better, but we try to learn from that. But, if you, try to continue it, even as you're getting older, then it's gonna be a big problem. But you should, no, definitely not, say offensive things. That's why I, want to tell everyone, just, keep in mind and be aware who you're with, who you're talking to, what you say, definitely.
In the past couple of years, and that's what I always intended to
do. I can kind of definitely
the next thing I want to talk about is
relate to some of this.
I actually didn't initially plan on talking about, just because I thought it was so obviously fake that it wouldn't really go anywhere, if that makes sense. But I was completely wrong. This became absolutely massive, and a lot of people were using this as a way to determine my character and judge who I am. And so it became something that was kind of unavoidable to talk about. So a couple months ago when everything was happening, there were a lot of people who kind of took advantage of the situation and added fuel to the fire. And they made a lot of fake screenshots to kind of muddle things and confuse people. This was blown way out of proportion. People were making fake screenshots as a way to prove how easy it is to fake a screenshot. And there are probably more out there that I haven't even seen yet.
Well, there was the one with the John. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. the John Watts one was definitely like yeah, I can't speak. The John Watts one, DM, it was confirmed. So like when I first heard the drama and seeing all that type of stuff, like for like at least 2 days, it was confirmed that this was fake and this was, yeah.
In particular, that I see people pretty often referencing when they're talking about the situation, that I wanted to focus on and disprove. So one screenshot in particular here kind of characterizes me as trashing John Watts after he'd reached out to me when the first Lotus trailer came out back in October. And it shows me calling his movies garb. First of all, I don't think I've ever used the word garb before, but second of all, if you talk to anybody who was close to me when this happened, they would tell you I was absolutely over the moon that I got a message like that.
Dude, I literally cannot even breathe right now. He saw it when it premiered. Dude, there's no f***ing way.
It's no secret that over the years I was pretty outspoken about, not liking his interpretation of Spider-Man. But the moment I got that message, any opinion or negative thought I had about those movies went right to the back of my head. All I could think about was how cool it was that somebody in Hollywood with his level and everything that he's got took the time out of his day to come to an independent production and show support like that.
Wow.
So the next screenshot here references a storyboard situation that happened last year around September 2021. And it kind of characterizes me as being somebody who doesn't pay his crew members.
Right, because didn't they make like 100K for the film? Like it was like all the fans' money too. They made like 100K. And then like after all the drama, everyone's been talking about how, cause like even like so like I looked at the paying options when I first like went to one of the links. So there's like a few where like you get a shout out, they share your name in the credits, and then they talk about you get like some type of stuff from the Spider-Man Loutus film. I don't know, like shirts, like I'm not sure. Basically that type of stuff. I mean, if you guys get what I'm talking about, like then I don't know, but just let me know down in the comments if you guys know, because there was a link. But yeah, I definitely did pay like what, $5 on the film. But low key though, I think it was either $5 or $10. I'm not sure, but low key, I was excited to see that.
Whoever made this
to see the film
kind of fundamentally,
and like I don't understand like
what happened with the story.
I wonder, it's like, what did they even do with the 100K?
And so I'm going to take a little bit of time explaining what really happened there and what that was all about. So a little bit before production started, when we were still in pre-production, we were getting ready to film. I did a volunteer call for different artists who submit their work to be used in the movie. That lasted from about May 2021 to June 2021, and we got a lot of really great stuff. And so the night before we started filming the Tim Harrison scenes, when it was
low-key, I felt bad for that kid because
Jacob Watson, Evan Jackson, and Gabe Combalser, they spent the whole night.
Like, imagine looking up to like Spider-Man, like this actor right here in a Spider-Man costume. You look up to him so much, and the fact you're in a movie with him is so exciting, but then you find out he's racist, and then they're talking about how films getting canceled, and then like almost people like, because I wonder, the rest of the like cast members that were in this like leave the film too?
Putting up this artwork and setting up the set and kind of decorating everything. I actually kept all of them. I've had them since we wrapped on the set that these were used on. This one's probably my favorite. It's by Sean Robbie, so shout out to Sean. But yeah, it went really well, and people seemed to be really excited to see their art used in different screen caps and whatever I would release from the movie. And so fast forward to a little bit later, now we're in September, we had wrapped principal photography. I kind of had that idea that volunteer calls were going to work really well. We were getting ready to start filming the action sequences for additional photography. And one thing I learned throughout the initial production, principal photography, is that storyboards are really important, and I definitely should have known that.
I wonder, what is this man doing right now? Like, now I'm curious, like, what happened to this man now? And the person that played Green Goblin, wait, is he the same person that plays Green Goblin also as Harry Osborn? Or was that a whole different actor? I literally forgot.
Before we started filming, but it's a big thing that I learned throughout production, and so I wanted to apply this the next time we were on set, and I wanted to really get on top of that. But the problem was that I was an absolutely terrible artist. I can't draw anything. So I really needed storyboards.
Nah, low-key though, I'm kind of terrible at drawing too. Like, when it comes to certain characters, I can't draw. Because that's really similar to almost how I draw.
Because of how successful the artist call was in pre-production, I wanted to take a similar approach to the storyboards. Now, this was a huge misjudgment on my part, a huge amateur mistake. A lot of people did not take it the right way when I put out the volunteer call.
I'm going to need some storyboard artists willing to work for free for the action sequences that we're filming, and additionally for photography. I don't know why I mispronounced though.
And after spending a lot of time, reading what people were saying and then seeing what people had to say, I realized I was completely in the wrong.
Storyboard artists will now be paid, but unfortunately I can't get as many people involved as I originally wanted since I want to conflict. I don't even know what I just said for that last part. Okay, let me just stop. Let me just stop.
More essential to the production of a movie than fan art would be. Not to discount the fan art, but more so to put more emphasis on the process of being a storyboard artist. So after that situation happened, I took a little bit of time to readjust the way I was going about everything, about 2 weeks. And in October, I had seen a message from Lucas, who had actually submitted for the original artist call in pre-production. And he was offering to work on the storyboards for the movie. And so we discussed payment, and we had hired him for the movie. He worked on a couple CGI scenes, and he was working on
that looks good,
a couple of the additional photography scenes. Later on, I had received an email from someone who told me recently they don't want their name included in the video, but did give me permission to show our first few emails with each other. And he was also sort of submitting a portfolio of his work, and I was absolutely blown away by it, and so I brought him on as another storyboard artist. So there was never a point where I had hired people with the promise of pay, refusing to pay them. I tried to compensate everybody as fairly as I could. So this screenshot about not paying storyboard artists is not accurate. So the same person who made those screenshots,
that one was definitely confirmed to be like fake.
That are just completely ridiculous.
Wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. To be honest, I don't even remember seeing those two, but
I don't know who made them, so
but
I can't
he did.
For sure
but all I know is that there were some DMs that were fake, and then some that were real. So I don't know.
Things that happened the last year, like John Watts DMing me. My best guess would be that they were trying to mix them in with the real screenshots and make it look like I haven't grown up at all. If that was the goal, I would say they definitely succeeded because, outside of friends and family who saw these and they were able to tell that they were obviously things I wouldn't say, I can't really blame people on the internet who might not know me personally and haven't spoken to me because they don't really have any other reason than to believe that they are real. The third thing I want to talk about is claims made by a VFX artist who had worked on the movie last year. For some context for people who might not know, this person made a Twitter thread expressing having a bad experience working on the movie and made quite a few claims that were either exaggerated or just completely untrue. Now, unfortunately, I also did not have a good experience working with this person or the former VFX artist, and neither did half of that former VFX team. I'm not sure why he chose to speak on the behalf of other people because there are members from that team who don't share his opinion or experience, and they actually continued to work on the movie even after that team had fallen apart. When some of those VFX artists saw the misconceptions going around about how they were treated, they let me know they were making a video about what it was like working on the movie. That video should be out before this one, and if it is, you can find it on Max Arnhammer's channel. So while I am a first-time filmmaker and there's a lot for me to learn about how I want to run a production, and there were certainly things that could have been handled better by me specifically, there are certain things about me as a director that I wanted to defend, especially in regards to the idea that I mistreat, underpay, or time crunch my crew members. And so while none of this was directly stated by this VFX artist, his tweets did kind of initiate these ideas. And when these misconceptions were being formulated, his tweets were pretty often referred back to when these ideas were kind of being construed. And I think a lot of people missed out on the fact that he did follow up his tweet and clarify a lot of the misconceptions that were going around. So later on, he had clarified that they were all compensated. I did not force any time crunches onto them, and that there was no malicious intent between me or them. The problems with this team were just the results of miscommunication and misunderstanding, And unfortunately, we just didn't have great chemistry with each other and didn't really work that well together. And, you know, sometimes that's just how it has to be. You know, we just are very different from one another and struggle to kind of connect and sort of work on a consistent level. And so, you know, I'm not going to really publicize the details of what happened with this crew because I feel like things like that should remain private. I think they should be dealt between me and them. And I think it would be immature of me and unprofessional to kind of publicize things that I believe that they may have done wrong. And so really the only thing I can hope for is that they learned as much from the experience as I did and that they carry that with them in any of the next projects that they go on to. Now, before the video ends here, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, which is that there were a lot of rumors going around that I abandoned the movie, took the crowdfunded money, and took off.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But I'm here to tell you that could not be further from the truth. That's never been a consideration of mine. It's nothing I've even remotely thought about. And anybody who tells you that the movie's not coming out is completely wrong. You know, the movie will be releasing at all costs. But here's why.
Wait, so then what about what about those two actors? Are you gonna fire them and replace them? Like, how's that gonna work?
At the very beginning, this movie was meant to represent a very simple message, which is that we can use tragedy to better ourselves for the people around us because that's our responsibility. It's a very simple message. That's what the title of the movie Lotus represents, and it's something that the entire cast and crew believed in. You know, they all worked on this movie out of passion, not for the money or attention or anything like that. And so that's why this movie is still releasing, because of those messages and ideas. And so regardless of how you feel about me, I ask that you let the movie stand as it was meant to be, and let the work of the cast and crew be put forward how they intended it to be. But, you know, rest assured, all the perks and the sweaters and the shirts and everything like that, we're still fully planning on going through with. We're going to be sending out emails. There will be updates on the Indiegogo. No worries about that. Everything is going forward exactly as we intended. I don't know when the movie exactly will release. You know, I had to make a lot of changes and adjustments. And so the process is drawn out a lot longer now. But there will be updates on my YouTube channel. There will be updates on the Indiegogo. And yeah, so...
Oh, so that's like the website that he was talking about. Yeah, I think that's the one, if I remember. Because low-key, I hope I do get an email back since I did like pay for the film for like $5 or $10. But yeah.
Watching the video, hopefully it clarified a couple things, and I'm excited to show you guys what we got.
All right then. But yes, if you're in the comments saying you paid for it, yes, I paid to support the movie. I paid like $5 or $10. Okay. I paid to support the movie back then when there wasn't drama before. So okay, so the movie's still gonna release. So but we don't know when though. But question is, what's gonna happen to like the original cast members? Like, that's a good question. All right, so that was the reaction to both of the Spider-Man drama, the VFX team. Yeah. Okay, I cannot speak. So let me know down in the comments on what you guys think. And if you guys want to check this video out, I'll leave the link in the description. But don't forget to subscribe, hype the like button, leave a comment down below, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on a new video. And let me know down in the comments on what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Loutus, and are you still hyped to see the movie, or like what are your just opinions on it in general? Just let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye, guys.